Hey, what's going on? So, I wasn't gonna do a video for the year end of 2020 because, well, it all started well and the world just stopped. But you know what? There were still a lot of positives from this year to, well, talk about. Like I said, I did make a short film addressing the pandemic, and yes, it was also a sequel to a short film from the previous year. Also, I made another short film with a little bit of help from my visually impaired friends. The film talks about the white cane, the importance of it, and yes, the cane does its own narration. Speaking of canes, I took part in a multi-YouTuber collab for my friend Sam's channel, The Blind Life. There he talks about the white cane and how it's a symbol of independence. I also collabed with Dave Steele, aka The Blind Poet, to make one of his poems into a short film. I did a video talking about the importance of Apple's voiceover screen reader feature and why it's important for my needs as a visually impaired person. That video was part of a collab with Fashionista for Global Accessibility Awareness Day. And speaking of Apple, I also shared my thoughts with you on Season 1 of the Apple TV Plus show titled C. And speaking of C, I interviewed actress Brie Clouser once again, this time to talk about an Audible original project that she was a part of this past year. It's called Freaks, you spell it with a PH. Go check it out. Actually, I did quite a few interviews. I interviewed the 5 hosts of the UK podcast PS I'm Blind, and they interviewed me for their podcast as well. I did an interview for the American Foundation for the Blind, AFB, for their Inform and Connect podcast series. I did a podcast interview for Mind's Eye Radio, an organization in St. Louis. And I also did an interview for Sunu, the company that makes the Sunu band, for their podcast called The Hummingbird. And I interviewed audio description narrator Roy Samuelson, and he also interviewed me for his podcast, the ADNA ADNA Know Your Narrator series. And also myself, Roy, another friend Stephanie, and another friend Chelsea, we brainstormed this idea for having Audio Description Awareness Day. And yes, Roy does provide the voice for that talking cane video I was talking about earlier. I decided to make a video talking about my condition, retinitis pigmentosa. I did a video talking about an accessible audio recording app for the iPhone, Dolby On. And I did a sit-down video talking about the topic of, do all blind people think the same? So in the big picture, I really wish 2020 had turned out much better for not just me, but for everyone. But still, I was able to do what I could, and I'm grateful for being able to put out what I did this year. So here's hoping that next year ends up being a lot better for everybody, and I will see you then.